Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Cosmic Circus Review. My name is Vin. With me, as always, is John.
Hello.
Today, we're talking about The Matrix, but a Cosm Shared Reality experience. John, what is a Cosm Shared Reality experience?
No, it's actually Matrix in Shared Reality.
Okay,
Matrix in Shared Reality.
and what does that mean?
Made by Cosm Studios in the Little Cinema. Okay, so I don't know if you've been like so you and I went to the Fort Worth Omni Theater. You were there
Mm,
for that.
mhm,
You saw the way it looked,
mhm,
saw how vibrant and like immersive and crazy and
mhm,
just
mhm,
like wild it looked in that screen.
mhm,
So the same company that made that screen
mhm. Beautiful
also
8K dome. Beautiful, beautiful dome.
AK owns two venues called Cosm Los Angeles and Cosm Dallas. There's only two of them. Only
Cool.
two in
Mhm,
the United States. For the most part, at the moment, they only show, like science stuff, and they're more sports related at the moment.
okay.
Where you go into the theater that's very similar to the Sphere. It's more in common with the Sphere, I think, in the
Mhm,
shape than the dome is over here.
mhm, mhm,
Just the way it's like designed.
mhm,
20 meters, I think, wide. Just so big.
mhm,
And so basically what Cosm does, you go into that building, they have like a full service bar, a dinner menu and all that stuff. They play like all the games on these
mhm,
screens
mhm,
around the main
mhm,
lobby area. And then you could go into then you can go to the theater. When you go to the theater, it makes you feel
mhm.
like you're courtside of the game.
Okay,
Like the
cool.
way the dome is set up, it makes
Mhm,
you feel like you're a part of the game. You can order drinks and food, sit down and feel like you're like at the stadium, like in real
mhm,
life. And they got their own studio company that will go after these games with
mhm,
cameras
mhm.
and broadcast live into the dome.
Wow,
So it makes them feel like they're there.
wow.
So, the people that started this company back in March decided they wanted to do market expansion,
Mhm,
where they take this idea and move it into the next century of movie entertainment.
mhm.
And their first move towards that was a five-picture deal with Warner Brothers to make movies for this big screen, to make
That's
films.
incredible. So 5 pictures with Warner Brothers to make all new movies for this format,
To make all new films like now, no, not all, well, not all new,
but to
but
create something. Okay, to
to
create
make
something.
experiences. I think they are testing it for new
Hmm.
films.
Hmm. That's
So,
really cool. Wow.
so the first movie they decided to test because one movie is better when you talk about changing the reality
Right.
is The Matrix.
Yeah.
Um, and they made a new experience out of it called The Matrix in Shared Reality. And they call the whole thing, anything they do, like the sports arena games, they call
Hmm.
it all shared reality.
Okay.
But this is called shared reality. And it is not the same as a 70 millimeter IMAX film. It's not the same as a 3D film. It's not the same as ScreenX. So, just gonna throw it all out there.
Hmm.
Where do I begin with this? Where do I begin?
Did it actually change the movie for you? Because the Matrix is the Matrix, right?
Yes, it is the Matrix. Okay, so I want to give my full honest thoughts. I'm gonna be very
Yeah.
candid.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, eh,
Hmm.
because to be clear, this is a $50 experience. You
What?
hear my word? $50.
And this
This
economy? What?
I know. So that was my first thought going into it is that I need to keep this in mind. This is a $50 experience. So what am I going to get out
Uh
of
huh.
$50?
Uh huh.
We're going to go through the full spectrum.
Uh
Now, my seats were $50 if you were going to buy them. I don't know if they're all $50,
huh.
but I think they range from 35 to 50, I think. But where I was at, where I was sitting, it would have been $50. So I go into this with a pretty optimistic viewpoint. I don't know if you've ever seen The Matrix. Did you watch it? Like, when did you first see the film?
A long time ago. A
A long
long
time.
time ago. Long
So it's
time
been a
ago. Yeah.
while.
It's been a long time. But I loved it. I loved it. I saw it 2 or 3 times when I was younger. It's been a long time.
I was there when it came out. I was
Yeah.
there opening day.
Yeah.
This is one of my all-time favorite movies.
Hmm.
I adore The Matrix so much. Like, it's probably in my top five of all time films.
Wow.
Where it's just like where it was so formative for me.
Hmm.
Like I
And
would
you
put
were
it
like
up,
a teenager, right? You're like a teenager when it came out.
yeah, I would put it up there with like Children of Men. Have you ever seen Children of
No,
Men?
I haven't seen that. I haven't.
Bro,
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
yeah, it's just a sci-fi film that changed the game, you know?
Okay.
Um, so I was so ecstatic to just revisit this.
Hmm.
Um, so when you go to this new experience that's made by Cosm Studios and Little Cinema, the first thing you're going to notice is that it takes up this entire dome. Like this whole
Hmm.
visual element
Hmm.
is like an entire big screen that envelopes your viewpoint.
Hmm.
It's different. It's different than an Omni theater. I don't know how to explain it, but like it's one big circle.
Like a dome, right?
Well, it's like a half. Like it's like a half dome.
Okay.
Like you're. It's not like the full circle. It's like you're sitting underneath,
Okay.
like a half version of it. Like,
Okay.
and then it goes up to the sides. I don't know if
Okay.
that makes sense.
Okay. Okay. I think I get it.
And in the middle, of this giant picture
Hmm.
is the movie itself.
Right.
Within the movie is the movie itself,
Hmm.
and everything around it is something different that
Right.
was made by Cosm and Little Cinema. They're the
Uh-huh.
ones that made everything around that goes on in the,
Right.
everything that goes around the screen. The thing about it then, the way I felt about it is that you could tell that they were overwhelmed. Like, cause it's the most giant format that you could be able to work on,
Okay.
and you're doing something from scratch without anybody involved. You don't have the filmmakers involved. You don't have
Uh-huh.
any of that.
Uh-huh.
So, what I understand, because I talked with the people who worked on it when I was there.
Hmm.
One of them, his name I think is Andrew Merkin.
Okay.
He was the one in charge of all this. They would have to work on sections of the dome,
Hmm.
like and coordinate with each other. Each corner of this experience
Hmm.
was worked on individually, and then they all had to sync it up.
Okay.
Which is like when you watch it, you're like, holy crap. That's
Hmm.
very like staggering that that's what they had to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you could tell they were overwhelmed, and at some point, you could tell that they were just like, "This is all we can do today.
Yeah.
This is all we can do today." So,
Yeah. But it's
some
a
of,
start. It's a start, right?
yeah, it's a start. So some of those visual elements would be just stationary. Like,
Yeah. Got it.
so for example, I'll give you an example. There's a sequence where they're being attacked, in the Nebuchadnezzar by those like sentinels,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
You would think like it would cut to the outside and everything around the screen would match where the robots
Hmm.
were flying around, but all it would do is just stay in the Nebuchadnezzar in the environment
Yeah.
around
Okay.
the screen fixed. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? It would be
Yeah. Yeah.
fixed, and it would just make little noises here and there, like you would see
Uh-huh.
flickering. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like it
Yeah.
would be like just like a setting.
Yes. That doesn't sound
It's,
good.
well, like I said, it's like that
Hmm.
until it's not.
Hmm.
So there's little moments like that where I was like, I can see where they need to work on this. Like
Hmm.
it's not perfect. Then the third act kicks in gear, where the best moments of the film come to life.
Hmm.
And then I was like screaming, I was like hooting,
Hmm.
hollering.
Yeah.
So it gets this is an example. It's not the whole thing. It gets to the ending of the film, and there's one part of it where, Neo catches Morpheus as he's like running out the building, right?
Okay. Okay.
He's running out the building, he gets shot in the leg. Neo grabs him by the
Hmm.
arm, the
Hmm.
helicopter's carrying him
Yeah.
around.
Hmm.
And the whole sequence, like the one thing I thought about is like it felt like Terminator 2 the ride. You ever see that?
No,
So,
not the ride.
so Terminator had a ride that James Cameron made a long time ago,
Okay.
where it would combine a screen and live action elements, where like people would fight on
Yeah.
stage
Hmm.
while there was a screen going on around like in the
Hmm.
middle with three D elements.
Hmm.
This feels like that, but it's all projected. It's all on the LED screen, right?
Wow.
That's what it seems like they're trying to do.
Hmm.
Instead of putting live action elements in there,
Hmm.
like for the audience, it seems like they're trying to put it on the screen to make
Hmm.
it feel like they're happening.
Hmm.
But as that's going on, and you can see the bullets flying underneath the screen, and like Morpheus gets shot, he
Hmm.
falls down, Neo grabs him. There's a sequence right after that where after he saves Morpheus, the helicopter is falling,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And you can see Trinity falling down with the helicopter,
Yeah.
and Neo like grabs the rope and he gets like confident and
Okay.
like pulls it and he
Uh-huh.
drags him across the roof and she like shoots the rope and the helicopter flies into the building and the
Okay.
building liquefies. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So as that's happening, this entire spectrum outside of the screen starts moving around as it's doing it, and I could feel it. I was like, "Oh my god, they're
Oh wow.
going to do it! They're going to do it!" And
Hmm.
it's moving around, and you're looking at a skyscraper. You're looking
Hmm.
at multiple skyscrapers as this whole thing is happening on the screen, and then the fixed angle gets positioned right in front of a building
Uh-huh.
as she goes colliding into the building, and the whole screen goes boom.
Oh, cool. Cool.
And I was like, wow!
Because it all just lines up perfectly, and then it goes with the movie.
It
Okay.
just gets fit
Uh-huh.
right there. And that's what I mean by
Okay.
it's tedious. It's amazing.
Okay. But that's
And like,
the purpose of this is to show the potential, show the amazing what the amazing moments can be, right?
it shows the potential of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
There's another sequence where like Neo gets shot and he's like about to die and she's kissing him.
Hmm.
And she's like, you can die because you're the one.
Hmm.
You can see in the Nebuchadnezzar as things are flickering. It just looks beautiful. I don't know why.
Hmm.
It did add emotional weight to that scene.
Wow.
So another added element that you don't know about that I haven't been able to see, there's lights at your feet. So in the theater, there's like lights
Okay.
that will color coordinate with what's
Uh-huh.
happening on the film.
That's kind of
So
interesting. Okay.
it's even so if the movie is like throwing green code at you,
Right.
like towards you, the lights on the floor will turn green.
Does that take you out of the movie, or does that add to it?
No, it's just like an I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It feels like you're at a Universal Studios park ride in that way. Where
But
like
it's not like XD, right?
no,
Or
it's
what is
not.
it? What is
It's
it?
not
What is
because
it? 4DX. 4DX. Yeah.
they're not moving you around. They're not throwing you around. They're not like
Because the 4DX,
so
like on Twisters, it was really cool. Where there's like water and there's like wind and all those elements felt great. It was just the shaking I didn't like,
yeah.
but all the other stuff was neat. Yeah.
It's not that kind of sensory experience,
Okay.
but all this to say, I dig the concept.
Hmm.
I dig what they're trying to do. Like it doesn't feel like it's 100% there.
Yeah.
What it worked for me was in the way that you ever see Last Action Hero?
No. What is that?
Bro,
What is it? What?
Last Action Hero is amazing. Okay, so it bombed at the box office.
1993. Schwarzenegger. No.
Yeah,
No.
so I bombed at the box office, but
Uh huh.
it has gained love over time, right? A kid gets a golden ticket, and that ticket has a magical power that makes the action movie come to life, where like things start exiting the screen.
Jumanji.
Like no, like Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Hmm.
like the action hero comes into our world.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
It's magical when it feels like Neo and everyone is actually entering our environment.
Okay, that's interesting.
That is when it becomes magical. When you feel like the movie is actually exiting that
Hmm.
perimeter and actually entering our
Hmm.
world, it becomes Last Action Hero. ScreenX does not accomplish that. ScreenX
No,
is
no,
just more science stuff.
yeah,
It's like it's not just a bigger canvas on the side.
yeah.
It doesn't make you feel like
Mhm.
the movie is coming out to you.
For Captain America: Brave New World, I did like the flying scenes when he's flying in the air, and on the Screen X you can kind of feel it around you, and it feels a little bit like you're flying with him. But that's the closest thing I could say.
But it
Yeah.
doesn't feel
Otherwise, it
like
didn't work. Yeah.
but it doesn't feel like, Falcon is like entering the theater with you.
No,
You
no,
know what
no.
I'm
That's right.
saying?
That's right. It puts you in the movie. It doesn't feel like the movie's
Yeah.
coming out to you.
Additionally,
Mm.
the shootout sequence
Yeah.
where the bullets are like flying and hitting the wall,
Yeah.
they recreated that environment. It
Yeah.
has like you shooting everything like the environment. You're just seeing bullets hit like a bunch of like walls, and
Wow.
it's just like rotating around the room
Mm.
as you're just seeing the walls explode.
Wow.
So
That's really cool.
it's moments like that that make it pretty cool.
Hmm.
I don't know what you think, Ben, but my opinion is if they decide to make any more movies, that I think it would be better if they worked with the filmmaker.
Yeah. Of course. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, because like that was my thought is that this could be good if they got the filmmaker's interpretation of it involved.
Hmm. Especially with such a creative movie from such creative creators, right? Like
Yeah,
let them see, hey, we have a new canvas. Do you want to add anything, revisit? I mean, of course they'll probably say no, don't touch it, but at least if they're going to do this going forward, do it with the director involved. Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. I want to bring it to a director. This is the concept. This is what we did with the
Yeah,
Matrix.
yeah.
Um,
How would you compare the potential of this to the potential of, for example, the Omni Theater that we looked at? Would you say it's all the same dome style, or would you say they're
It's
doing
not the
something
same.
completely
It's not the same style because
different?
they're doing two different things.
Hmm. Hmm.
When you're going to Fort Worth,
Hmm.
it's all one experience. It's all
Hmm.
one thing. It's all together.
Hmm.
This
Oh,
is
I got it. Yeah. Okay.
this is two different things. You got one element, the movie going on.
Hmm.
The second element is the environment around it, the
Oh.
theming around it.
But could you also display this on the Fort Worth Dome?
I don't know. I don't know.
Hmm.
I thought about that. I don't know if you can.
Okay.
The reason why is it feels like it's set up for that screen.
Hmm.
Well, again, I say that, but I mean, because it's made by Cosm Studios,
Hmm.
it probably could like render it different
Hmm.
to make it work on there. But I don't know what that would look like. You know
Okay.
what
I'm
I'm
just
saying?
checking right now. It says they did open a third location in Salt Lake City, Utah. They're planning to open Atlanta and Detroit.
Yeah, I
But this
mean,
is
it's a different kind of venue. It's a
Yeah.
different
But
kind
these
of
are
venue.
all these sources are from 2024, 2025. It
Yeah.
is brand new. Wow.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. I mean, I go back and forth because I don't really know what I would prefer because I love the ability to be immersed by a film on its
Hmm.
own.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
that.
Exactly.
And I dig what they're doing here. I see the potential.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I prefer it over 70 millimeter.
Especially if it's such a high price point.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, I'm gonna add to that here. They serve food based on the film. The first one is like noodles, the little Chinese food.
Like
Noodles are
ramen.
good.
Okay.
No, it's not ramen. It's just like Chinese food box
Oh,
because
lo mein. Lo mein. Yeah.
that's what they were. They bring it up in
Sure.
one part of the film before he gets like taken.
Yeah. Yeah.
The second one I think is really funny is the ignorance is bliss. So they
Hmm.
serve a steak
Hmm.
called ignorance is bliss, and they bring it out in that moment where the bad guy I think is Cypher.
Yeah.
He cuts the steak.
Yeah.
He goes, I know when I eat this steak that the
Uh huh.
Matrix is telling me it's juicy,
Mm.
that it's he describes the flavor of that steak, and he goes, "You know what I found out after being unplugged for these years?
Ignorance is bliss."
So they give you a steak based on that steak.
Yeah, that's nice.
And then you
And
get
was it a good steak too?
it was a very good steak. And it's not a lot. They give you just a little bit, but the third thing they give you is when the Oracle is meeting with Neo. She's baking cookies. Okay, so he meets the Oracle and she tells him, like, you're not the one. You're not the one, but Morpheus is going to sacrifice himself, and you're going to have to decide what to do. Don't worry. Take this cookie, and when you finish it, you'll feel right as rain.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They give you a cookie based on that.
Nice. Yeah, I just pulled up the menu here. So they have really good noodles. Don't take Neo's word for it. Taste for yourself. Stir-fried lo mein noodles with chicken, onions, cabbage, snow peas, carrots, pickled fresnos, and scallions. Ignorance is bliss. Juicy and delicious steak medallions with demi-glazed parsley and a side of cheese grits, roasted corn, and some other stuff. Oracle cookie. Take a chocolate chip cookie. By the time you finish eating it, you'll feel right as rain. Very, very nice.
Yeah.
Yes. And then also they have a red pill cocktail and a blue pill cocktail. Wow.
And a red pill and a blue, but I don't think that comes with it. Like, you can go buy that. But they did not serve that with us, but they did bring us food. But like I said, Ben, I'm not sure if that's included. I asked because if that is included, if you get the experience and the food and all that, to me, I think it does add up to about $50.
According to their Instagram, it says it's available for groups of 40 or more. So you need a very large party for that.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Then I don't know. Then I don't know. But
it's really cool that they're offering this. But I wonder how much the cost would be without the extra food.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But it's good. It's good food. It's very good food.
If price wasn't a factor, would you choose this over IMAX?
Over 70 millimeter?
Yeah.
IMAX?
Yeah.
No. I mean, I'm just being honest. 70 millimeters. So, but that's not an offense to them. I'm old school. School.
But lots of people our age are old school.
I like 70 millimeter IMAX. Now, I still think that there's so whenever this whole thing is on, when it turns on, and the whole environment is like alive, I think it does something 70 millimeter can't do. Like, genuinely.
I get that. Because it's that extended reality, right?
Yeah. They did a demonstration beforehand showing like what the games look like what the movies they play on there, like the science-based films. Like Orbital plays on there too. Orbital is on there. So when the whole thing is like on, I'm again, like I told you, I think it does something like at the Fort Worth Omni Theater. It does something that nothing can do right now. I don't know if the shared reality way they're doing the film right now, like this film, I don't know if I would prefer that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't know if I would prefer that because I love to be immersed by a movie in general. Like to have the whole film take over me rather than have an extension of a film take over me.
But I think with this kind of potential, with this kind of technology, there could be movies designed for Cosm in the future, right? That are 100% movies. Yeah.
I think this would be great for something like Star Wars.
Ooh.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Something like Star Wars or like you know what I'm saying? Something that like actually
What do you think about Avatar in this?
Yeah, that would be pretty sick. That would be sick. Because like that is gonna mean.
Yeah.
That the jungle atmosphere, it would work for something like that.
Especially the water. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the water and everything. Yeah. I think it would work for things like that. Where you're being transported to a new environment.
Yeah.
Space or anything like that. But I don't know if this is the perfect one for it. But I'm trying to think of what Warner Brothers movie they would do next. They can even encapsulate that.
Aquaman. Yeah. I am being serious. Think about Atlantis.
I mean, well, okay. I mean, you do got a point with the Aquaman.
And that movie made $1 billion.
I don't think anybody would come back for it now, but Yeah.
Nobody came back for the second one, but still, that's an example, right?
Yeah. But I'm talking about like a high profile film. Like
Mm-hmm. Billion.
I thought about Lord of the Rings, perhaps. But like that's the closest I could think with that.
I just wonder when you touch such beloved classics, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, with such strong fan bases, do you think fans could ever get upset by this? Because you're not destroying the movie, you're just adding on top. But
You're not destroying the film. You're extending it. It's an
right,
extension. It's an
right,
extension upon
right.
it. Because
So
like,
can you imagine fans being upset by any of these changes? No.
no, I don't know because like the thing is like it's not touching the film.
Right, right.
No matter what happens with Matrix and shared reality, I mean,
It's still the Matrix.
the movie is still the Matrix. They didn't
Yeah,
do a special edition of it. They didn't like rewrite it. They didn't
yeah,
recut it. It's still
yeah.
the film, and you're still gonna be able to watch it now. Then I will tell you before we get off, it does solve one major problem that I never.
Mm,
Actually, two major problems I never really accounted for.
mm,
Solves the cell phone problem. That we did. There were people on their phones in this film, and
mm.
the screen is so overwhelming. You don't care. You don't
Oh,
care.
okay. All right.
You don't care. There was people sitting right next to us, like looking at their phones,
Mm-hmm,
recording on their phones, and there was just
mm-hmm.
nothing bothered you.
Cool.
The other thing is that if they could just tweak it just right,
Mm-hmm,
it improves the problem with being able to recreate the cinematic experience at your home.
mm-hmm.
That's the biggest problem with people going to the movies right now.
That makes sense because I mean that's the reason why we need something like this because you can't do this at home right now.
You can't,
Um,
no.
the closest thing would be like Apple Vision Pro, like VR kind of, but
Yeah.
it's different. Yeah.
No, and this is better, I think, than probably Apple Vision
Hmm.
Pro because like it's a communal experience.
Yeah, that's why it's
Yeah,
shared reality.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Interesting. Huh. Still just that price point. Like if this was comparable to IMAX, I think it'd be great to go try it. But how much is your local IMAX?
I mean, IMAX is still going to be about 17,
20,
$20.
17, 20. Okay.
Like, it's still not cheap.
Because this is more than double that. But
Yeah,
also you had all the food.
yeah, I think the main reason why is because of all the work that went into it.
Mm-hmm.
It is experimental, and I think 'cause it's a custom produced film.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a director made
Mm-hmm.
this new experience.
Yeah, they had
They
to do it all
made it.
themselves. Yeah, yeah, I get
They
it.
made it themselves, so I'm assuming that's why they are making that price.
Yeah.
They're probably trying to recoup some of that cost.
And do you think they probably have to pay WB also for the rights to their 5 movies?
No, I think from what I understand, WB and them have a business deal going on. Like
Eh,
they have like an actual contract for
mhm.
5 movies to put on that screen.
Oh, so WB's paying them.
I just think they're sharing the profit. Like from what I
Okay, okay,
understand.
okay. I get it. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
think they're
something that maybe
sharing
we
the
could read more about.
Yeah, they're in contract, and that's why I was wondering what would be the next Warner Brothers movie they would do.
Cool, cool.
Yeah. So anyway,
But this is
uh,
like brand new. I'm looking at their website. I'm looking at their Instagram, and there's not a lot even here
no, dude,
about sports. It's mostly sports stuff.
that's the thing about it. Then this is so niche. It's like
Yeah,
ridiculous. I
love
don't
it.
even know if anybody knows about it. I don't know if anybody has like looked it up. I'm possibly one of the only people in the world right now of like under 1,000 people that have watched this, which
Yeah,
is
I guess so. I guess so. Yeah,
crazy to think about.
yeah. What do you think of like Interstellar like this?
Oof,
Yeah,
ooh,
yeah,
that's Warner Brothers right there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, dude, Interstellar would be.
I bet Inception also with all the buildings twisting around and stuff.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my
Yeah,
god, dude. Inception. That's the one that
yeah.
I would want so
That
bad.
that would be cool.
Inception would be cool, but I don't think no one would do it.
No, no,
I
no,
don't
they
think he
wouldn't.
would.
Wait for him
Because,
to die, then they can do it.
yeah, I don't think he would do it, but man, it would be amazing. And it would be pretty cool too. Like, I don't know if you saw Tenant.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Tenet, Tenet slaps pretty hard in times too.
Mhm.
But yeah, Inception or Interstellar, those are the only ones I could think of. Man, I would have to go through WB's catalog
Mhm.
You take a look at what maybe because they're gonna pull from like famous like
Yeah, I would love
brands.
to see Batman '89 like this. I would love to see that.
Well, I'd see him more going to like Harry Potter or something like do you I'm just saying.
I don't know. I don't know what they could add to Harry Potter, but like Batman '89, I can just imagine extending the world of Gotham, extending the Batcave, extending kind of like when the Batwing flies up into the moon, and imagine if you can see more. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that is the Matrix in shared reality. I don't know if I
Yeah,
articulated any of it
and so
correct.
overall, you're pretty positive on it and the potential.
I am hopeful. I am very
Yeah.
hopeful. There's a lot of work and love that went into it.
I would like to really see something original designed for this technology.
For I think a few of these contractual
Mhm.
events are not just for redoing the past.
Okay.
I think one of them is going to be for a brand new experience.
Wow, that's really cool.
That's what I think.
That's
I
really
don't
cool.
have proof. I
Sure.
don't have proof of it, but I did say to the guy because I met him,
Hmm.
because when that building exploded on the screen,
Right.
he saw me go, wow, you know. Um, he walked over to me. He was like, dude, he was like, that's exactly what I wanted to see from people. And I got to talk with him for a minute. Like his
Great.
name was Andrew Merkin. He did him and his team of people
Mhm.
designed that entire outer layer.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I got to talk with him. He told me how long it took. I'm
Mhm.
not gonna say because he sounded embarrassed, but I'm like, dude, you don't gotta be embarrassed by that time. Like
Mhm.
it took a while. It took a while. But it did take a long time to make.
For this
That's
one
why.
movie. Yeah.
So what?
For this just one movie.
This one film he said like I think he told me now. Bear in mind I could be wrong. I think he told me like 1 second of this film. I think took up like 1.3 gigabytes of file.
Oh my
Something
God.
like yeah,
Wow.
just and I was like, holy crap. So yeah, it took forever to make.
Yeah. Wow.
So but I told him when I was there, I was like, I think it could improve
Hmm.
if if y'all coordinate with the filmmaker on whatever you do next. So not that you have to like be like slavish to what they want, but the interpretation of the filmmaker could enhance
Hmm.
the storytelling of
Hmm.
what's going on around the film,
For sure. Yeah.
And that's where I would like to see it go because I would have loved to see Lana Wachowski's
Yeah.
interpretation of what could have been around that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have loved it, like
Yeah.
so much.
They're probably not going to redo this first one, but if they continue with the trilogy, or sorry, the quadrilogy, that might be really cool for the later movies.
And they did say Drew Goddard was there at the premiere in Los
No
Angeles,
way. Wow, that's
and
cool.
he's making number 5. So
Excuse me?
you didn't know about that.
No, I don't. Maybe I forgot.
Drew Goddard is making Matrix 5.
Aha. Oh, but this was announced a year ago? Okay.
He's still on it. He hasn't exited the
Yeah.
property.
Wow, I completely forgot. I think I saw the news, but completely forgot. Oh my God.
And again, Drew Goddard was there.
Yeah, yeah.
He was there.
Wow.
So yeah,
This would be incredible if they designed Matrix 5 with this in mind.
with this in
Then
mind,
it has a chance to like actually change and be
yeah,
revolutionary again.
that's what I was saying. Like, I think it could be great if they work in tandem with the filmmaker. I think it has the possibility of greatness. But to me, it's like in beta testing phase.
Yeah, sure, for
This
sure.
feels like a beta test, which is why it's probably more expensive, which is why it's probably more all that. Now bear in mind whenever they do have a sporting events are still like around 40-50 bucks whenever you go there. So
Hmm.
it might just be like the whole premium bill of it. And
Hmm.
that's probably why they pay that much. I agree. I don't love that price, but it's
It is what it is.
it
Yeah,
is what it is.
yeah.
So
Anyway, that's the Matrix. Shared reality.
that is the Matrix in shared reality. Go check it out. Let us know what you think. It's only in 2 locations in the United States,
Yeah,
so you don't have to work very hard to go find one. So
yeah.
anyway, I think you will get your money's worth. I do.
Wow. Okay.
You just need to make sure you understand that this is all a beta test right now.
Sure, sure. But
Some
you're also
some
supporting. You're supporting the technology. You're supporting the advancement of this.
exactly some things are going to work and some things are not just
Mhm.
yet. It's all in beta test. It's, I hate to make the comparison, but it's kind of like AI. It's not perfect right now, but one day it's eventually going to get perfect, and then it's going to make us slaves, just like the movie that we're talking about right now. Anyway, so
thanks everyone for watching. If you enjoyed our discussion and our views of the nightmarish future, be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Are you excited to see The Matrix at a Cosm screen near you? Shared reality. Let us know in the comments. I'm Vin. You can find me on Blue Sky at Vin Writes Words.
I am John, and you can find me at John Movie Watch on all social media platforms.
And be sure to follow thecosmiccircus.com on Blue Sky and at My Cosmic Circus, where you can find more reviews, articles, editorials, opinions like the ones you just watched. Thanks, guys. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
And special thanks to our Patreon supporters. If you'd like to see even more videos and extended content, please subscribe at the link in the description.
Thank you.